Ready to go? Yeah. Well, it was a big win for us. But before talking about the game, I know I put out a statement about John Cheney. Um, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, our sport has lost some huge people recently. And he was as big as any. Uh, a lot of people don't realize like growing up, he's the best player in Philadelphia and never was afforded the opportunity to play because of segregation at a big time school. Although I'm not knocking Bethune-Cookman, don't take that the wrong way, but where you get recognition. And so he he absolutely is one of the best coaches ever. But he was, and not knocking, but he had to work his way through all that before going to Temple, and served as a great example. And he knocked down a lot of barriers. And in the late 80s and early 90s, John Thompson, George Raveling, a number of those three guys were giants. And on conference calls during that period of time where, they were fighting for the rights of African American kids, especially. We had some of the most emotional phone calls that lasted sometimes till 1 or 2 in the morning. And you know how eloquent John Thompson was, and George. When John Cheney spoke, it was almost like you could feel there were other people that he was talking about. It sent chills through you. And anyway, God bless him. We had a moment of silence for him before the game, and that's the most important thing today is to remember him. And so our game, we played really good defensively. We shared the ball, 5 guys in double figures, a lot of assists, and it started the second half. We played like a veteran team and not allowing a big lead to determine how hard or how well we would play. So any questions that you all might have?
We'll start with Steve Wiseman. Steve, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the offense and sharing the ball today. You guys had a lot of assists on your field goals. Right. Is that just the guys getting more comfortable playing together? You kind of get in a core group, it seems like.
Yeah, more so than comfortable, familiar, Steve. Like, remember, we're just putting this team together where everyone is healthy in the last couple of weeks, and having Jalen makes you like passing. And then Mark's emergence and understanding the physicality of the game. He really has taken that step in the last week in practice. And, Nate James was working with our big guys at 8:00 this morning on stuff like that. So they're putting in extra work. And so Jalen's familiarity, our familiarity with one another, and then passing to Mark is different than passing to anyone on our team. So there's just more. There's more, and our guys are unselfish kids, so they're looking for one another.
Brennan Marks, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Yeah, you mentioned Mark and his work with Coach James, and Mark sort of credited Nate with some of his development and getting more consistent of late. When he's out there, how does he change things for you guys on both ends of the floor? It just seems like it's such a different element than what any other player would offer.
Well, a big thing for him, Brendan, is because we weren't able to play a lot of games and exhibitions and all that. It took him a while to learn what college basketball is about, physicality wise. And in the last week or so, maybe 10 days, he's really got a good understanding of that, because, he can be physical without fouling, and somebody can be physical with you and not foul. And I would like to credit also like Patrick Tapay, Henry Coleman, Keenan Worthington, these guys, because he's not learning that alone. You know, Nate has those guys out here all the time. And, but defensively, he's had 2 tough matchups. Sims is a real tough matchup, but he's not a traditional center. He's like a point center. And then Wright from Georgia Tech plays away from the basket at the elbow a lot. So that's the other thing, is moving your feet and doing that. And he's done a good job with it.
Thank you.
Luke DeCock, go ahead.
With the caveat that I may have missed it, I thought you might go a little matchup zone and in tribute.
I could never. That would be an insult, Luke. You know, that would be an insult to John. But that's a great comment. Thank you for. And,
But
you should. He's the originator. I mean, that was, the Temple zone, right? I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, but my real question, this looked to us on the outside like a big step forward in terms of a lot of pieces falling into place, doing things right. In Jalen's dunk, that you can imagine the energy that would have had in a full building. Was it to you? I mean, if you're on the inside, was this game a natural progression of where you guys have been heading, or was there a sort of a quantum leap here in terms of the performance?
No, we, in the 3 losses, we were in position to win. And at certain moments, 55 against Virginia Tech, and 3 straight exchanges where we did not execute. We were horrible offensively, and it hurt us. Against Pitt, again, it's a 1 possession game. And I mean, these other teams are good. Against Louisville, we took a little bit more of a step up, and we're really played well enough to be deserving of winning. And it wasn't like you messed up, you just missed. And so we just got to keep, we're not this outstanding team. We're a good team with great kids who are trying to get through this whole thing without the experience of a fall and, a non-conference and exhibition in that. So a younger team, it's going to take longer during this time, and they may never develop because you could lose confidence and stuff. But our guys have been working hard, and hopefully we can continue that against Miami on Monday.
Time for a couple more. Jake Piazza first.
Hey, Coach. Jeremy had those 12 points tonight after a bit of a rough go lately in the scoring department the past 2 games. And I'm just curious about anything he did in the lead up or during this game that made him so effective tonight.
No, he's just got to keep playing. He's got to keep playing. He's a good player. Keep taking his shots. I think as long as it doesn't impact when he's not scoring the defensive end. And in fact, his defense has picked up. He's getting better, but no, he's got to keep being him.
Steve Wiseman, go ahead.
Yeah, after Jalen's dunk, he showed some emotion there on TV anyway. And again, on TV, that's the most we've seen him show this year. Have you seen that behind the scenes, or is that a step forward for him as far as him being comfortable playing again and healthy and feeling more like himself?
Yeah, I think he just keeps getting better, and he's a really good talent who's trying to become a really good player. And, he sees himself growing in that regard, especially the physicality of the game. And by the way, if you get that third baseman, I'm going to punch you.
I wondered about that.
How the heck do you guys, how does that happen? How do the Cardinals, is it a done deal?
Basically, yeah.
Unbelievable. Just it makes me sad. Makes me sad.
It's a good rivalry. It's back.
It's not a rivalry. You guys kick our butts all the time.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time.
All right. Thank you all. All right.